Throughout the Cold War, we can see many examples of supranationalism, which is more than one country coming together to achieve a common goal. During this time, there are two main superpowers in the world: the US, which represents the democratic states, along with the Soviet Union, which was a very powerful communist state. Main military alliances consisted of NATO, which was an alliance of democratic states, versus the Warsaw Pact, which was an agreement among communist East Europe countries. Economic alliances were the EU, which was created to heal Western Europe from World War II, and Comecon, which was an alliance among communist states.
A nation-state occurs when the cultural borders of a nation correspond with the state borders of a country. Two good examples of nation-states are Japan and Denmark. There is no perfect example of a nation-state because every person in the country would have to be the same ethnicity, speak the same language, and practice the same religion. A different idea is a nation. A nation is a group of people with common cultural characteristics. They may be linked by ethnicity, language, or religion. Usually, nations are located within the borders of a country. A state is any area that regulates their own internal and external affairs in a particular piece of land. So the state has the power to make laws, defend its borders, and enact policies. This power is called sovereignty.
The Soviet Union conflict came about because there were 15 republics, each with its own ethnicity, that wanted to have their own independency and sovereignty. On one side, we have the Baltic, European, and Central Asian states who fought against the Caucasus and Russia who were communist. European colonialism was efforts by Europe to establish settlements in a territory and impose their principles. It came in two major waves. The first wave's reasons for colonialism was gold, glory, and God. This left many of the colonies export-orientated towards Europe. The causes of the second wave were exploitation of slave labor. This led to splitting of cultural groups and many ethnic tensions. Territorial morphology is a study of the size, shape, and relative location of a country. Sizes of a country can be categorized into five different categories. The first is fragmented, which is a country with more than one piece. This makes it hard to control. An example of this would be Indonesia. The second is compact, which is relatively round. It has efficient organization. Examples would be Poland and Bhutan. The third is elongated, which is long and narrow. This also has problems with organization, but it has potential for more access to resources. Examples would be Chile and Vietnam. The fourth is corrupt, which is compact but has a piece sticking out. An example of this would be Thailand. The fifth one is perforated, which is a state with a hole in the middle, usually perforated by water in another state. An example is South Africa and Lesotho, which is the one perforating the state. A microstate is just an extremely small state, such as Monaco, Vatican City, and Liechtenstein. Landlocked states have no access to water, or at least no direct access. They must go through another state to have access to water, such as this orange square state over here. An exclave is a piece of territory that belongs to a country but doesn't touch it. Examples of this are Alaska, Angola's Cabinda region, and Hawaii. An enclave is a piece of territory that is 100% surrounded by another state. An example of this would be Lesotho in South Africa. A boundary is a vertical plane that goes all the way up and down, marking the extent of a state's territory. It comes in three stages. The first one is defining it, which is establishing the location. The second is delimitation, which is drawn on the map. Third is demarcation, which is the actual construction of a boundary.
There are four types of boundary disputes. The first is definitional, which focuses on the legal language of the document. The second is locational, which is what the boundary is going to look like and where it will be. The third one is operational, also known as the functional dispute. This is how will the border operate, such as are immigrants going to be allowed to cross over. The fourth is allocational, also known as the resource dispute, which is how resources will be distributed. Core areas of a state house a country's major cities with its largest and densest population clusters. It has intensive transportation networks and a highly developed economy and circulation. Examples of this are the Bosnia-Wash, Boston, New York, Washington corridor, the Paris Basin, and Kanto Plain in Japan.